This is Ed, once again here for the Blood Type Online YouTube channel, and we're going to review a DVD today, and that DVD is of Charles Band's stoner horror comedy, Evil Bong. Recently got this from the folks over at Full Moon Direct, and if you're interested, if you go on their website, you could pick up a copy of the second film and get this one for free. I'm also going to have another video for you guys too, which is a review of the second one, so bear with me. But first up, this is Evil Bong. As you can see, Tommy Chong is on the front cover from Cheech and Chong. He has a quick role in the movie. It's nothing really outstanding. He's only in like the last 15 minutes or so of the movie. But you know, I was actually expecting this movie to be pretty terrible, but actually I found it to be pretty fun. So you know, it was a surprise to me in that fact. But you know, it gave me quite a National Lampoonish kind of vibe when I watched it. Like, if you guys have ever seen, I mean, obviously people have seen like the vacation movies and stuff, but generally like the older or the newer National Lampoon stuff, just kind of a stupid comedy. And basically what happens in this movie is it starts out with a kid named Alistair who's new to college. He's kind of a nerd, moves in with a couple guys who just happen to be potheads, and you know, from there all hell kind of breaks loose. One day they see an ad in a newspaper for this bong that may or may not be cursed. So of course they buy it, they smoke some weed out of it, and they find out the hard way that it basically steals your soul and kills you. So it's up to nerdy Alistair to, for the first time, smoke some reefers, get sucked into the bong, and save the day. I mean, overall, the movie is stupid. I'm not going to lie. It's not a great film by any stretch of the means, but it is damn funny. Especially if you're into, like, stoner comedies, too. I mean, there's some cameos in this movie, too, and they really are cameos. In the fact that Bill Moseley's in it, Tim Thomerson's in it. The cameos are pretty funny, I think, because they pretty much acknowledge the fact that they're cameos by what happens in the movie. You know, I've never been the biggest Charles Band fan in the world. You know, the movies are what they are. If you're into puppet movies and stuff like that, then, you know, certainly get a kick out of them. I know a lot of horror fans that actually do like a lot of Charles Band stuff. I'm kind of lukewarm on it. The gimmick isn't really outstanding with me. I'm not really big into killer doll movies. But, you know, Evil Bong, I actually kind of dug. Like I said, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it is pretty funny. It's a good way to waste about 80-some minutes. It was shot on 35mm. Looks pretty good. Has some pretty goofy visual effects in it too, but didn't really bother me. I mean, to be honest with you, when you're not talking a serious horror movie, I got a fucking frog in my throat here, so I'm gonna drink. Much better. Anyway, like I said, it's not, you know, a serious horror film by any stretch of the means, so like even the kind of mediocre visual effects didn't really bother me that much. It's also funny too, and I got a kick out of this, but the Evil Bong itself looks just like it does on the cover. It has face and everything, and it talks like a very angry black woman, so you got that going for it. The roommates themselves are pretty funny. You have a guy who is basically a ridiculous stoner. He's pretty funny in the movie. You have Larnell. I think his name's Larnell. Anyway, you have Larnell, the main character of the film. And, well, yeah, not really the main character either. But see, that's what happens when you do videos and you half-ass pay attention to what you're doing. But no, his name is Larnell. And one of the funniest characters in the movie is his grandfather, who comes off like he completely hates him. He's nothing but insulting. And if you're a fan of like vulgar insults, like I am, because you know I have the comedic sensibilities of a 5-year-old, then you're gonna think it's funny too. But it's certainly not the most complex movie of all time. There's lots of boobage on display for those who enjoy that. Because whenever they get their soul sucked and they go into the bong, they end up in a strip club. No, I can't explain that, nor will I try, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to reinvent horror, it's not going to reinvent the comedy, But as a horror comedy, it's actually pretty entertaining. So I definitely recommend people check this out. The DVD is pretty good too. They have some full moon trailers on there, which obviously come on most of their DVDs. It has a featurette on the 2003 Full Moon Roadshow, which is like a traveling roadshow that Charles Band does, where fans can go to get merchandise and DVDs and stuff like that for a little bit of a discount. I think it's kind of a cool thing he does for fans. And I mean, if you're really into Charles Band, you're going to want to check these out. A friend of mine, Tim Gross, who's a big Charles Band nut, actually attended one of these a few years back and told me that it was a blast. He said it was really cool. And, even not being the biggest Charles Band fan, I would definitely go to one and see what it's like. But yeah, that's on there. And there's also a making of Evil Bong featurette, too. So it's a pretty decent little DVD. And like I said, if you go to fullmoondirect.com and if you pick up a copy of the sequel, which is Evil Bong 2 King Bong, you get this one for free. So it's not really a bad gig. You could check it out. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you run out and buy this. It's worth watching. You might want to give it a rental or something like that. But believe me, I've seen way worse, and I've actually spent my money on way worse too. So, definitely that's a recommendation from me. Just if you're in the mood for something different, kind of a stupid kind of horror comedy hybrid, and trust me, it's more comedy than it is horror. You're going to want to check this one out, especially if you're a friggin' stoner. You'll get a kick out of the movie. So definitely recommend it. You could probably find the DVD for really cheap too if you just wanted to pick up a copy. I remember for a while I seen these on like the 2 or the 3 for $25 deal or whatever they have at Hollywood Video for like their used copies. That's definitely worth it if you could find 2 other movies to pick it up that way. Like I said, you could get it on Full Moon Direct if you order a copy of the second one. I'm sure you could probably find this cheap all over the internet. It's definitely worth checking out. And I think somebody even told me that on Netflix this is streaming too. That might not be the case, but it's a cool movie. Definitely recommend that you check it out. And I'm an uncouth bastard. What can I say? That's Evil Bong from Full Moon Features. Check it out. And as I always say in these videos, go watch some movies, but I guess go do some drugs.